The Angels had aspirations of moving up in the American League wild card standings and getting to the .500 mark when they arrived in New York to start a three-game series against the Mets at Citi Field. Los Angeles was feeling good about itself after taking 2 out of 3 games from the Phillies this past weekend. Unfortunately, the Angels were swept by the Mets, capped off by a 6-3 loss on Wednesday afternoon. The Angels, 49-53, are still only 5 games behind the Red Sox for the third and final AL wild card spot. Wednesday's loss was a game that turned ugly toward the end. Both interim manager Ray Montgomery and offensive coordinator Tim Laker were ejected during the bottom of the 8th inning for arguing balls and strikes. The Angels had a chance to potentially tie the game in the top of the inning. With runners on first and second and 2 outs while trailing by 3, Luis Rengifo struck out looking in an at-bat in which he did not swing the bat, and all 6 pitches appeared to be outside the zone. A few minutes later, Montgomery came out to make a lineup change and then found himself in an argument with home plate umpire Eric Backus. After the second pitch of the bottom of the 8th inning was called a ball, Backus was seen arguing with Laker before the latter was ejected. "The calls were bad," Montgomery said. "I went out and I didn't say anything really about the calls. I said, you have to keep them on the plate." Before I could tell him that Lamont Wade Jr. was going into right field, he threw me out, which is what really got me going, aside from the obvious missed calls. On a day when Montgomery went with the bullpen from the start, left-hander Jake Eder ended up getting the bulk of the work, pitching the final 6 innings while allowing 5 runs on 7 hits. The biggest blow came in the third when he allowed a 3-run homer to Pete Alonso. But Eder settled down after the 4th, retiring 12 of the next 14 hitters he faced. After the 3rd inning, he was as good as we would have hoped for, Montgomery said. To take it all the way out was huge for the bullpen and for us. He kept the game right there. In the final 4 innings, Eder said he was aggressive on the mound, but it wasn't the case in the first 2 frames. "I grooved some pitches. They were good hitters' pitches," Eder said. "Maybe out of frustration, I kind of bared down and started attacking and not thinking. That's when I was at my best. Going forward, I'm coming right out of the gate with that mentality. Attack and don't care about anything but going right after guys." Because of Eder, the Angels have a fresh bullpen. They return home to Anaheim to begin a 13-game homestand on Thursday night against the Mariners. "It's never going to be an effort thing with our guys," Montgomery said. "It's guys posting and showing up when we need them to. To this point, that's all I can ask. We have been doing that." Catcher Travis d'Arnaud believes the Angels have the team to play in the postseason this year. He played on the 2021 Braves, a team that won the World Series. He pointed out that Atlanta wasn't playing well before the trade deadline that season, but the club got hot soon thereafter. D'Arnaud believes the Angels can do the same thing. "Just keep going. I've been on teams where we were under .500, close to the deadline, and then the deadline happened, and we went on a run," d'Arnaud said. "That's the time of the year where it's about who's hot and who's not. If we keep going to every series and try to win it, good things can happen." Some people found it odd when new Los Angeles Lakers guard Marcus Smart said that he has yet to hear from star forward LeBron James. There's reportedly a reasonable explanation for why James hasn't contacted Smart, however, and fans seemingly don't have to be worried about the lack of communication. One Lakers source told Hoops Wire that James and Smart haven't been in touch yet because the former is on vacation. "He's on vacation," the source told Hoops Wire. "Calm down. LeBron is allowed to enjoy his summer. He doesn't have to be about us, the Lakers, and basketball all the time. He'll connect with Marcus when he's back." Fellow Lakers newcomer DeAndre Ayton also indicated earlier this month that he hadn't yet heard from James either. It's unclear if that's still the case. Smart's introductory press conference was held not long ago after he agreed to sign a 2-year deal with the storied Lakers franchise following a buyout with the Washington Wizards. He brings an impressive two-way skill set along with a wealth of playoff experience to the table in Los Angeles. Regarding Smart's playoff experience, he and James ran into each other in the playoffs on multiple occasions when Smart played for the Boston Celtics and James played for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Celtics and Cavaliers met in back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals in 2017 and 2018, after also meeting in the first round in 2015. James Cavaliers won each series. Smart has been on the other end of some incredible individual performances from James, and he's likely now glad that he doesn't have to worry about guarding the 40-year-old. The former Defensive Player of the Year could very well play a significant role for the team in the coming 2025-26 season. Lakers insider Jovan Buha said in light of Smart's decision to sign with the Lakers that Los Angeles should start him over forward Rui Hachimura. There is a compelling argument for Smart to be in the opening lineup, as his defensive abilities would help LA significantly on that end of the floor. In all likelihood, Smart will be in contact with James sooner rather than later. It should be exciting to see them share the floor once the coming 2025-26 season starts up, and with any luck, Smart will thrive in his maiden season in Los Angeles. In light of an article from Bleacher Report that had Los Angeles Lakers legend Kobe Bryant ranked at the number 11 spot in a list of the NBA's greatest players of all time, how Bryant stacks up in NBA history has been a hot topic of late. Miami Heat legend Dwayne Wade recently gave his 2 cents on Bleacher Report's rankings and explained that people who faced off against Bryant are gonna talk top 3 when evaluating the Lakers' great. If you want to ask us hoopers who played against Cobb, we talking, all of us gonna talk top 3, Wade said. We all gonna talk top 3 if you played against Mamba. But from someone's opinion that's never played against Kobe, will never play the game of basketball at the level that we play it at, having him at 11. Why am I up in arms about something like that? Players like Stephen Curry, Wilt Chamberlain, and Larry Bird were all ranked ahead of Bryant on Bleacher Report's list. Wade and Bryant never crossed paths in the playoffs, with the former spending his entire career in the Eastern Conference and the latter being with the Lakers in the Western Conference for his whole pro tenure. It's unfortunate that Wade and Bryant never met in the NBA Finals, as 2 of the greatest shooting guards the NBA has ever seen dueling it out on such a big stage would have made for must-see television. Still, they faced off in the regular season numerous times over the years, and Bryant gave Wade plenty of buckets across 20 matchups. Bryant averaged 26.1 points per game against Wade's teams during his career and put together his fair share of standout scoring performances. For example, in December of 2004, Bryant torched the Heat for 42 points, and he made 5 3-pointers in that game as well. Wade, to his credit, averaged 24.3 points per game against Bryant's Lakers teams and had a 40-point game mixed in there. He was able to go 11-9 against Bryant in their 20 meetings. Statistically, he was a better playmaker than Bryant in those games. All in all, Wade seems to understand Bryant's greatness as well as anyone, and he does have a point in that folks shouldn't take too much stock in where Bleacher Report ranked Bryant. Rankings are entirely subjective, and a number of factors could have resulted in Bryant landing at the number 11 spot. Regardless of his ranking in Bleacher Report's article, Bryant is universally perceived as one of the greatest basketball players ever, and that consensus opinion isn't likely to change soon. The Los Angeles Lakers and the Golden State Warriors were presented as active players this offseason. While the purple and gold have made the necessary roster upgrades, the Dubs are yet to make any noteworthy moves thus far. A trend that has been seen from both teams has been their approach towards improving their defense. The Lakers have shown some initiative in this department with the signing of Marcus Smart, spurred by the recruitment efforts of their superstar Luka Doncic. Meanwhile, there is a growing expectation that Golden State will complete the signing of a capable defensive guard in DeAnthony Melton, along with a solid veteran big man in Al Horford. With defense becoming the theme, recent reports have suggested that both teams have shown an interest in Sacramento Kings guard KEON Ellis. Ellis is coming off his 3rd season in the NBA. At 25 years old, he displayed immense talent as a point-of-attack defender for the Kings. With an average of 1.5 steals per game, he proved to be a disruptive defensive presence. While his offensive output was limited last season, as he averaged 8.3 points, 2.7 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per game, he showed incredible perimeter shooting ability, with an average of 43.3% from beyond the arc. The Warriors' interest in Ellis was reported by Forbes' Evan Sidery, who wrote, The Warriors recently expressed interest in KEON Ellis, who the Kings have kept off limits in ongoing sign-and-trade negotiations involving Jonathan Kuminga. Golden State has had a complicated offseason with Jonathan Kuminga. Although the 22-year-old forward has requested a trade, the team is hesitant to move him. At the current juncture, the Warriors are expected to retain him, with the expectation that they will complete a trade before the deadline. Sidery's report doesn't present a positive outlook for the Warriors to acquire Ellis. Considering that Sacramento's initial package for Kuminga included Devin Carter and a handful of second-round picks, it is abundantly clear that the Dubs could do better. Los Angeles' chances of acquiring the Kings guard will improve as the road ahead for Golden State becomes increasingly challenging. With this in mind, however, the Lakers' rumored trade package for the Kings seems interesting. To acquire Ellis, the Purple and Gold are said to package a solid veteran contributor in Gabe Vincent, along with a crucial 2032 second-round pick. While this package seems to work on paper, the Lakers may be overpaying in salary to land the 25-year-old. The value of Vincent's contract at $11.5 million is significantly greater than Ellis' $2.3 million next season. In addition to this, the Purple and Gold are sweetening the deal with a second-round pick. While this deal may have some benefits for the Lakers, the Kings may not do it. Sacramento has shown a lot of faith in their young guard. Although it is difficult to make sense of what direction the franchise is headed in, it wouldn't be wise for them to give up Ellis for Vincent at this stage. This deal also raises questions for the Lakers. With the addition of Smart, the Purple and Gold have acquired a proficient point-of-attack defender. The profile for Ellis is quite similar to Smart's, making the acquisition somewhat unnecessary. Instead, the Lakers are expected to show an interest in trading for either additional defensive support or outside shooting, with Drew Holiday and Kentavious Caldwell-Pope emerging as targets. With a clear focus on fitting an offensive system driven by Luka Doncic, Los Angeles may prioritize spacing and two-way wings over overlapping profiles. Meanwhile, Golden State will continue its pursuit of reliable big men and wing playmakers to fill out their roster.